Fans, as we close our 25th anniversary year, we would like to take a minute to acknowledge our age-out seniors. These young men have played a combined 337 games in a Jackalope jersey. At this time, please turn your attention to the video board as we welcome Assistant Captain Connor Couette to the ice.
Hey, Jack fans, we're the family of defenseman number 20, Connor Couette. Connor, I want to tell you how super proud we are of you. We all of us have been a super on the road, but your dedication honestly amazes us.
We wish you all good luck and want to give Carlos and the Rodriguez family a huge thank you for making Texas feel like home.
I love you so much, Connor. I want to see you on TV.
Go, Jax, go!
Hey, Connor, we want to tell you how proud we are of you that we're rooting you off from the other side of Texas.
Hey, Connor, I just want to say that all of our work is paying off and we're truly proud of everything that you've done.
We love you. We miss you.
And now for his last lap, please give a round of applause for our defenseman from St. Michael, Minnesota, Connor Couette. Now, please welcome Mike Manso.
Hi, we're Jennifer and Larry Manzo. We'd like to take the opportunity to thank the Disley family, the Wright family, and the Earl family for hosting Michael these last 3 years. We'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the Jackalopes organization and their fans for all your support.
Mike, we are so proud of you and we congratulate you on a great junior hockey career. We look forward to the next steps in your life. I'm sure whatever you do will be incredible and we wish you the best of luck tonight. We've had such an incredible time watching you over the last 3 years and we wish you the best. Now, for the last time, please welcome, starting at forward for your Jackalopes, number 13, Mike Manzo.
And now for his last lap, please give a big round of applause for our forward from Troy, Michigan, Mike Manzo. Now please welcome Liam O'Hare.
It's been a long road from Barcelona to Odessa. We're happy that you changed your dream, and we're very proud of you.
Te queremos, también Bridget y Fiona, que están aquí con nosotros.
We miss you. Now introducing number 15.
And now for his last lap, please give a round of applause for our forward from Barcelona, Spain, Liam O'Hare. Now, please welcome the second winningest goalie in a single season in Jackalopes history, Alex Proctor.
Good evening, Jack Shack. I'm Will. This is Amanda and Sean Proctor. We're the proud family of Alex Proctor.
Alex we know juniors hockey has been a long, hard road, but we're super proud of you. You've come out on top, and we're excited to see where this next hockey journey takes you.
And now for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching on hockey TV around the world, in goal, number 1, Alex Proctor.
And now for his last lap, let's give a round of applause for our goalie from Dallas, Texas, Alex Proctor. And now please welcome Captain and Michigan Tech commit, Frank Devorny.
Hello, Odessa. We are the parents of Frank Devorny.
To the Billet families, the association, and the fans, thank you for your support and hospitality. Frank, congratulations on a great junior career. We hope you had a good time in Texas and look forward to watching you play at Michigan Tech.
We are excited to introduce to you from Wausau, Wisconsin, number 8 on defense, Frank Devorny.
Good luck!
And now for his last line, please give a round of applause for our defenseman from Wausau, Wisconsin, Frank Devorny. And how about another round of applause for our seniors?
Welcome into the broadcast, everybody listening on Hockey TV as well as the audio-only feed over on the Jackalopes YouTube channel. My name is Michael Wazinski, the voice of the Odessa Jackalopes for this 2021-22 season, as we just had a pregame ceremony honoring the 5 seniors taking their final lap here at the Ector County Coliseum that they've called home throughout this 2021-22 season. And those 5 skaters are Connor Kuent, Mike Manzo, Liam O'Hare, Alex Proctor, and the captain, Frank Devorny. Jacks going up against the 4th place Shreveport Mudbugs, who won yesterday in a 60-minute span by a score of 4-1. They came out the gate very hot by getting 4 goals on 12 shots in the first period, their highest scoring opening period to a game so far this season. And they make no changes on their entire roster sheet from top to bottom. They will be starting with the first line of Burke Simpson, my player to watch for this weekend. On the left wing at center will be Connor Gato, and then Austin Brimmer on the right-hand side, the LIU commit. On defense, they will be going with Trenton Heide, and on right defense, John Hallard. And between the pipes for them once again for this weekend. Over 40 games played in a Mudbugs jersey this season, and he has been a brick wall, to say the least. You saw a lot of incredible saves from him yesterday. Devin Boback, the age-out netminder from Northwood, Ohio, 6'4", 194 pounds. As the officials take the ice, referee J.R. Strager, linesmen Dane Hopkins and Tyler Willie. As for the Jacks, they will be going with their third line of Dane Hoyard, Mike Manzo, J.R. Perdian, and then on defense, Frank DeVorney, Connor Kuitt, and between the pipes, Alex Proctor. And prior to warm-up starting, we had one Jackalope player take the ice as the rest stayed outside of the 200 by 85-foot ice sheet. That is Charlie Bankier. That took his 100th warm-up skate. Did a solo lap honoring his 100th NAHL game. That is tonight, all in a Jackalopes jersey. As we get ready for game number 56 of the season for both teams. And this is the final meeting for these two teams as the Jacks have the season series lead 4-3. They've lost the last 3 of the season series after sweeping the Mudbugs on 2 different occasions back in 2021. And their only shutout of the season came against the Mudbugs in the very first game against one another, which was all the way back on October 1st. It was a 5-0 shutout for Odessa. Again, Jacks still have a very small margin of playoff hopes here this evening. Not mathematically eliminated, however, a loss tonight would knock them out of playoff contention. A win, of course, is what they need in regulation. They don't want to be giving any more points to Shreveport. Gave them 2 yesterday in that 4-1 victory for the defending champions. As the Jacks, minus the starting 6, now take the ice here off to the right-hand side as they will attack the first and third periods from right to left on your vantage point on Hockey TV. They will be wearing their home white jerseys again for the final home game of the regular season. These jerseys will be auctioned off after the game, however, with a stipulation: no autographs, and the winning bidders cannot take them home. Again, there's still 4 games left in the season. The Jacks might need these jerseys for a road trip, either in Amarillo next weekend or to close things out in Albuquerque, New Mexico. As the Mudbugs, this is their final road trip of this season, as they will go host the Corpus Christi Ice Race next weekend and then finish things off with the Rhinos. But they are wearing their 20th anniversary red jerseys as they will be going left to right from the first and third periods. Then yesterday, the Mudbugs had a very impressive first period as they scored 2 goals within the first 9 minutes and then scored 2 more in the back half of the opening frame. 2 came on the power play, then went a perfect 2 for 2 at one point, finished 2 for 4. Odessa went 0 for 5 on the power play. And that's something certainly to talk about, because Mudbugs entered this weekend ranked second to last on power play with 13.6% success rate. As we have the national anthem performed by the Greenwood High School and Middle School Band. A very large crowd here at the Jack Shack to support their local hockey team's final home game. And what a season it has been, full of ups and downs for this very young rostered team, going up against a team that this weekend, or here tonight I should say, is playing with 12 age-out players, and one of them, again, the netminder for this evening's matchup, Devin Boback. As for Odessa, they will only be playing with 4 age-outs. Liam O'Hare is one of the scratches alongside Jack Kristen, Brendan Finn, and Nick Ahern. Most of the goals in yesterday's contest that came off a Mudbug stick were some ones that, of course, even for Proctor, were practically unsavable. They had some cross-crease plays, a redirect in front. Actually, the redirect at the top of his own crease, which the Mudbug player celebrated before it even crossed the line. Again, he knew that Proctor wasn't going to be able to turn around in time by the time it had crossed the goal line. And then that funky play where the puck was initially shot from a Mudbug above the circles. It caromed over to a teammate of his in the right near side circle, and he easily deposited into the back of the net. So a little bit of puck luck is what happened with Shreveport yesterday. Jack's looking to, again, keep playoff hopes alive, and as well send a statement here for the hometown crowd. A very large attendance here at the Ector County Coliseum as the Jacks win the opening faceoff of their final home game here this regular season. A chance to come back here potentially if things go their way with a win here tonight. As the Mudbugs bring it out through the neutral zone. Simpson trying to play to the slot, broken up, settled down, backhanded breadbasket saved by Proctor. 20 seconds in. First shot belongs to Shreveport. Most wins in a season for the Jacks, 33. If Odessa's able to win out, they could finish with 32. That is how tremendous this season has been for a very young roster team with, again, roughly 90, if not more, % of the roster eligible to return on top of all the tenders they've signed and possible prospects coming in at the camps this summer. Matt sends it over to the right-hand circle where Tim Koklichev, the AIC commit, was depossessed of the puck. He scored in yesterday's game, broken up, and eventually played up but not out. Linesman Hopkins on the near side says it's still good as it's hacked off the body of Kuit to the far side half wall. The assistant captain sets up Boak, near side, softly plays it forward, kept alive by the Mudbugs. They walk in, Onstadt fires one, caught between the wickets by Proctor, and he gets a halt to play with 18:55 left to go in the first period. The only goal scored for Odessa yesterday came from Emerson Good for his 12th in his rookie season. The FSU commit was in the right place at the right time after Justin Hughes kind of sprung that breakout play. He's gotten family in attendance as well as Good does. As it's kept alive at the top of the point by Gockler, fires one into the traffic between the circles as Hughes gallivanting forward with it. As he tried to get it over to Good. Player still jostling forward along the near side wall, eventually broken up and sent to the far side. Dropped one back to Gockler from Carter Green. And a big hit was thrown from Charlie Bankier in his 100th NAHL game on Nicholas Miller. Hughes fires one, hit a body in front, blocked shot from Green. Hughes back after it, far side. Couldn't grab a hold of it as it's played over to the near side and out by Shreveport. However, a miscommunication play. Tallene from the far side red line fires it deep. As we are just about 2 minutes into this opening period. Scoreless affair. Mudbugs lead in shots 3-1. And this is an icing call against the Mudbugs, so offensive zone draw to ensue for your Jackalopes. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in on Hockey TV throughout this entire season, as well as our audio-only feed over on the YouTube Live channel. I know that's something that was just started this season without the radio station. So it's great. We're getting a lot of positive feedback on there. And again, still 4 games left. I will be with the team for the final 4 games. Again, next weekend in Amarillo. The 6th place Wranglers is who the Jacks will face next weekend. And then As this one goes for icing once more as Wojciechowski wins the foot race with Austin Brimmer. And then Odessa will finish things out in New Mexico. But on top of that, at that time, New Mexico could drop down the third. They were shut out yesterday 5-0 at the hands of the Wichita Falls Warriors, who are in third place, just 4 points behind New Mexico. A Warriors win tonight will put them within 2 of the Ice Wolves. And next weekend, New Mexico plays top-seeded Lone Star Brahmas. So battle of the top 2 teams in the South Division next weekend. Lone Star is playing Amarillo for Game 2 tonight. As Kelly has it, Kelly fires one, stick to the end boards by Boback. After it now is Duclair. His mom is in attendance. As we are over 2:30 gone here in the first period. Left back for Carter Green. Marshall applying some forecheck down low. As Gockler played it forward, but not out. Bounces over the plate of Tallene, hacked to the near side for Marshall. He turns the other way with it and shuffleboards it forward. And that will be a hand pass and brought back into the Jack zone. Marshall was taken down, no call on the play, but hand pass called by the linesman on the near side. That was Dane Hopkins. So an offensive zone draw coming up for the defending Robertson Cup champions. They have won 2 of the last 3 Robbie Cups. Draw to the glove hand of Alex Proctor. He's got 20 wins in his only season in a Jackalopes jersey against his final year of junior eligibility. As that one's flipped up and into the Jacks bench for a halt to play with 16:50 remaining here in the first period. Mudbugs have a record of 31-19-1-4, 67 points. They enter this game on a 3-game win streak and are 8-2 in their last 10 games. As for the Jacks, they have a record of 27-23-1-4, good for 59 points. They've lost their last 2, and they entered 3-6-0-1 in their past 10 games. As Devorney breaks it up at the blue line, but I believe it's going to be tripping is called. Strager had his hand raised on the near side, and it will be a tripping call against the captain. So the Mudbugs to the man advantage. First power play opportunity of the evening goes in favor of the visiting team. They went 2 for 4 yesterday, and their first 2 they did convert on it. Again, all 4 of their goals came in period number 1. Spoke with head coach Scott Dewar of the Odessa Jackalopes after the loss yesterday and said that you take out that first period, Odessa wins that game 1-0. They outshot them after 60 minutes, 34-31. And there were a few scrums in yesterday's game. Again, Shreveport fighting to have an X next to their name for a playoff berth. From the tied up near circle. Played back up top to Hallard. Across he stretches it. Back to the point for Hallard. Now over for Brimmer. He'll leave it. Back up top to Heidi. Now over to Brimmer. Gato to his left. He sends it to him. Gato from the far side circle. Back to Brimmer. Him and Gato play catch. Now over to Heidi. He winds, fires one, catches the plexi behind Proctor. And it looks like a penalty is upcoming now from Shreveport side. Hooking on number 14 in red, Burke Simpson. 4-on-4 hockey for a minute and 39 seconds here at the Jack Shack. In one of the largest attended home games for Odessa. Again, we still want to see you on the road next weekend in Amarillo or at the Outpost Ice Arenas in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Would love to have, again, this great fan base come out and show support for the local hockey team on the road for the final 4 games of the regular season. So 4-on-4 hockey for a minute and 39 seconds. Hooking is called against Burke Simpson. As Shreveport wins it from their own zone, they quickly turn it over. Handling it now and pivoting the other way is good as he dances along the left wing wall as he's trying to fight off the 6-foot, 170-pound defenseman Davis Gockler as they end up toppling over one another in the corner. Hughes with it. Hughes, puck protection, big body forward on the far side. Eventually dumped deep by the Jacks, eventually corralled by Shreveport, and then flipped back out to center. It's whacked at by Johnson, but they say tipped off a Jackalope player from the bench, so play has been blown dead with 15:39 left to go in the first. Mudbugs 4 shots, Odessa 1. Still a scoreless hockey game. This is home game number 28 for the Jacks. Overall home record, including the 2 that they won back at the Showcase in Blaine, Minnesota, all the way back in September. 15-11, 1-2. The Mudbugs as a road team are 15-11, 0-3. As it's lobbed deep by Mansfield. My player to watch for the Jacks. Sockers it to his blade. Relentlessly pressured from behind. It ramps off a boot and over to the far side corner. As now Shreveport leads the rush. Far side. They have to hit the brakes at the top of the left circle. And they give it right back to Odessa as Proctor will set things up now. And going the other way with it was Boak as he left it on back for Desmond Johnson. We'll rim it around the yellow trim. 20 seconds left to 4-on-4 hockey before Frank DeVorney can hop out of the penalty box. It will be a very short man advantage for the Jacks. But no power play goal can be scored from Shreveport so far. Again, they entered this weekend second worst, only with 25 power play goals. They had 2 yesterday. Wojciechowski with a lot of speed on the far side. He tucks around 1. Tries the muscle in on that far side post. It's covered by Boback as we head to a power play opportunity. And I think 2 seconds ticked off the clock on Odessa's man advantage. It should be maybe 16 seconds. It shows 14 right now. It will be an offensive zone draw and a power play opportunity for the Jackalopes. 14:25 left to go in the opening period. Odessa wins. Sends it back up to the point. They fire one, tipped high and wide, but remains in play. As it's shoveled up and over the left glove of Wojciechowski and all the way down. And that will do it anyway for the very abbreviated Odessa Jackalopes Jersey Mike man advantage. A lot of speed, in goes Kelly. He's angled away from a shot, and it's cleared out by Shreveport. Tolene will get to it first. Tolene turns and fires one back towards the benches as it's played in front. Gathered by Marshall and snapped deep. Boback comes out behind his cage as Gockler will get to it first. Almost a dangerous turnover from the right circle. They fire one, and just wide it goes off the stick of Manzo. DeVorney tries to get it to him now. Last home game for Mike Manzo from Troy, Michigan. His father is in attendance, but it's played up to Brimmer and out. Sent right over to DeVorney. He loses it to Gato. They race back after it below the goal line. A great hit thrown from the captain. On to the centerman from Jacksonville, Florida, Connor Gato. Mudbugs send it from low to high. From the Bud Light logo, they fire one, and that one tips up and into the safety netting for a halt to play. With 13:11 left to go in the first period of a scoreless hockey game here from the Jack Shack. Jacks break out with it along the near side. Hoyer winds it around to the far side. Manzo back down low to Hoyer. Hoyer second in goals, only behind Chris Duclair. Hoyer from the right circle. Spins it down low. Tried to get Purdy in from the right circle. Could not. Hoyer back after it. The Army commit. That one bounces into that far side circle and eventually is played out. Now giving chase to it is Hoyer, who backhands it over to the near side. Boat cannot retrieve it as Moose sends it back to the defense, as does Kokolchev. Now to the stick of Evan Mitchell, the St. Lawrence commit. Mudbugs have it. They fire one, sticked by Proctor, and he eats that one up just above the top of his crease for a halt to play. Odessa plays it out. Mansfield had a few breakaway opportunities, settles it down, shovels one towards Boback, and he gets the breadbasket save with 12:03 left to go in the opening frame. As we get ready for an offensive zone draw for Odessa. Far side circle. 0-0 is the score. Shreveport leads in shots 5-3. From the blue line, they send it. And that one goes up and into the palm of a fan here, directly behind the off-ice officials. Good hand-eye from him. Definitely a little bit too old maybe to play. But with that hand-eye coordination, maybe some athleticism in that fan's early years. Vorney and Johnson head off to the bench. Tallene Wojciechowski, the defenseman. Mansfield, Kusler, and Tanya Bezier, your three offensive players on this neutral zone drop. As Hopkins is waiting to drop the puck on the near side dot, and doing so, and it's sent back to Wojciechowski. Great win from the Jacks. Tallene from the red line fires it deep. Played back to the end wall by Boback. Shreveport plays it up, but right back into Tallene's stick, and he launches it again in and out of the glove of the left hand of Boback. Thought he had it. Nonetheless, comes away as it's onto the stick of Haller. His pass broken up. Off to the near side for Wojciechowski, who gets a stick up high underneath the visor. No call from the referee. That was practically underneath his helmet as he still has to adjust it on the back end, and it's cleared out by Odessa with 11:10 left to go in the first. Heidi trying to possess it, far side. He loses it. Near side now for the Jacks. Hughes dropped off to DeVorney. DeVorney left side. Back out in front. And Hughes was denied a shooting opportunity. Guent, good edge work from the left side. Brings it in and snaps one home. But it's saved by Boback. Good pressure so far in the first period by the team in white. As Mansfield has it far side, Hopkins loses an edge all the way out in center ice territory. Some fans erupt to that. Settled in by the Jacks. They're onside. Hughes fires one, shrugged high by Boback. Rebounds loose, and he gathers it up for the whistle with 10:32 left to go here in the first period. Oh, man, that stick cannot have come up any higher on John Wojciechowski off on that near side corner in the Jack zone. The referee, it was along the penalty box boards out back by center ice. Not sure if he had a good angle on it. There might have been a player in his way. Well, luckily, Wojciechowski's okay, as I didn't see any blood from that as well. Dangerous as they don't wear cages at this level. Interesting thing about junior hockey in that transition part to college is that once you turn 18, you're able, or you have the option, if you want to stick with a bubble, as they call it, or a cage, or if you want to go with the visor, like they see at the professional level. But then once you go to the NCAA, you have to go back to the bubble or the cage. Boat touches it quickly back to Hughes in the slot, as he has to twist one on that far side corner. 10:15 left to go in the first. Shreveport looking to break out. Brimmer, far side. He had a goal in yesterday's game, the leading point scorer, as that one is almost redirected towards Proctor, but he comes up with a save just to the outside of his crease. Back here protecting his netminder as we get a whistle with 10:03 left to go in the first. As we also will go to immediate timeout as well. We have the Greenwood Band off to the right-hand side. They did the national anthem, and they are alternating music throughout play here. And we've had some bands as well come over the last few weeks. Of course, we have a lot of great high schools, middle schools, local choirs. I've also performed the national anthem, and something that we will look to continue to do next year for the 26th year of hockey here in the Permian Basin. Minus the 5 seniors that age out that you saw for the pregame ceremony. One player that Still has junior eligibility, but possibly might go to the D1 level. He is out there on the ice right now waiting for play to resume off of this media timeout. He wears number 26. He has 20 goals and leads the team in points. And he's from Quebec. Spoke with his mom yesterday. Fantastic family. He's got a brother in the NHL. That is Chris Duclair. Possibly could be the last home game for him. Again, once they leave to go to the college level, they cannot return. And there's going to be a hooking call against Shreveport. As Wojciechowski sends it to the far side. Sent forward by Tallene. Proctor to the bench. Extra attacker on until the Mudbugs possess it, and they do so on that half boards on the far side. Hooking is called. Odessa to the power play for the second time. This time they look to utilize the entire 2 minutes, as they had a very short one last time. Guilty party, number 28, Drake Morse. Trevor Tallene, Emerson Good, both committed to Ferris State University. And Dane Hoyer committing to Army not too long ago. Those three players have the option to again return. Wojciechowski plays it alongside the Kusler. As it's attempted to play it out in front to Kelly. Broken up by Shreveport. Sent from low to high. Wojciechowski snaps it across. Right back to Wojciechowski. Off from the right-hand side. His shot whistles wide. Kusler trying to settle it down in the near side corner. 9:20 remains. And they say a hand pass with 1:32 left to go of power play time for Odessa. Due to the hand pass, Shreveport's able to make some changes as they get some new legs onto the ice. Kelly, Kusler, and Bezier, the three offensive skaters on this power play opportunity. Actually, I should say Mansfield as well. He was more of that defensive positioning on that face-off. There's now Wojciechowski, the lone defenseman, will look to make the rush go north, as he has options behind him. He'll leave it for Kusler. Over to Mansfield, near side. He tries to leap around Gockler. And that one snapped off the glass, kept alive by Kelly at the near side boards. Players fight for it along the corner. Sent back up top to Wojciechowski. Across he sends it to Mansfield. Back over to Wojciechowski, pressured at the blue line. Mansfield from the right circle. Across now. Kusler fires one, kick saved by Boback. 8:40 remains here in the first. Lower left corner to the blue line. Wojciechowski, right circle now. Plenty of space. Out in front, shot. Hit something. It's on the outside of the net. Settled down now. The Kusler, and that one could not be settled by Odessa. With 35 seconds left of power play time. It's their second man advantage of the game and almost kept in by Wojciechowski, but he has to retreat and ends up in his own zone with it. He will leave it for the captain, Frank Devorny, the Wisconsin native, going on to play Michigan Tech next season. Devorny from the logo. Rifles it right into a stanchion. Devorny goes shoulder to shoulder with Haller. Played down low to Manzo out in front. Pernian tries to turn one towards the net. Ricocheted off a twig. And it's kept in by Kuit on the far side. Back to even strength hockey we go with 7:40 left to go in the opening period. Shreveport comes out with it. 2-on-2 so far. 3 Jackalopes behind the play right now. Drake Morse loses it. Shoveled up and out. Actually, the linesman on the far side says it's still in, as there was some pressure by a Shreveport player on the far side. That was number 7, Connor Gato. Simpson throws a hit on Devorny as he sends it along the yellow trim. Out to the far side it goes. Gato after it. He sends it right into a jackalope body of Emerson Good. As Johnson keeps it alive by sending it deep. 7 minutes left to go here in the first. A scoreless hockey game. And Yates takes a slash in the back from number 3, Logan Harrell. They try a wrap around. Denied is Yates. Hughes back up top. Now to Johnson. Back over to Hughes. Top of the near side circle. Hughes fires one, trying to go far side. And it's caught in the left mid by Bobak. With 6:42 left to go here in period number 1.
Once again, Jackson, don't forget these jerseys.
That should be shot number 8 for the Jackalopes. Shreveport sits at 6.
You get your Twitter number so you can join in on the action and get yourself an autographed Jackalope jersey from your favorite player.
One aggressively all the way back into Odessa's zone as it's played near side to Duclair, who backhands one forward to Kelly. This line of Marshall, Kelly, and Duclair, while they have only been together for a little bit over the last few games, I do like kind of the chemistry they've been building as Duclair streaks along the near side, tries to send it back out to the middle. However, pinning it to the outside of his net is Bobak, and he gets the play to be blown dead from referee J.R. Strager with 6:15 left to go here in the first. Another line that definitely has been striking all season but was kind of separated in the last few months was Emerson Good, Justin Hughes, and Rylan Yates. And that fourth line has always kind of been a starting line too of Ryan Mansfield, Ryan Kusler, and Tanyan Begier. And again, potential for all those players to still return next season. And again, the Jacks could potentially be one of these more seasoned teams as offside is called against the Mudbugs, who are playing with at least 12 age-outs here this evening. More teams like New Mexico and Lone Star will also be seeing a large turnover. The Lone Star's always been a team that really focuses on age-outs and continuing their dominance in the South Division. Again, only once have they not finished in first or second place. They're sitting at the top of the South Division currently. Sent to Tallene on the far side. And snaps it well wide of Bobak over to the near side. Mansfield after it. Digging away at it is Carter Green and Davis Gockler. Kusler looks on. 5:35 left to go here in the first. Kusler wins the battle along the far side board, or near side boards, I should say, as it's flipped right back off the windshield, and trying to pin it up against the wall was Mansfield. Azier fires one into a body in front, collected by Shreveport and played out. Gockler after it, behind his netminder, as teams on both sides making changes. And Kuit will get to it first for a nice call against Shreveport. .504 remains in the first. They haven't put up that shot that was recently taken by the Jacks. It should be 8-6 right now. It's 7-6 on the video board. From Kuit, down low he sends it. Jacks finishing every check, no matter where they are on the ice. Gato slings it across to the far side for Brimmer. Brimmer sidesteps Kuit, who goes awkward head first into the boards. He's okay as Hoyer picks it up near side. Hoyer sets up Manzo. Manzo dekes his way through two Mudbugs players and trying to send it right back to a teammate. Picked off by Shreveport. And fired the other way, right on the Bobak by Devorny. Odessa making changes on the fly. Shreveport plays it across the ice. Big hit thrown from Charlie back here. This time on Morse. And sent back out to center ice. As now flipping it deep, this time was Trenton Heide with 4:08 remaining in the first period. Charlie Bankier patiently waiting behind Alex Proctor. 6 wins behind NHL goaltender Connor Hellebuck, as that one is redirected high and over the short glass and into the stands. As there's a souvenir for a lucky fan. It is great to see the crowd, a large number of fans here. The final home game for the 2021-22 season. 3:50 remains in the first period. Shots are now 8-6 Odessa. Kept in by Yates, far side, lost it between his skates. Good in after it. And played up and out by Shreveport. Over to their bench side. As Hughes tries to knife at it. He gets it around one. Trying to throw a reversal hit was Garrett Steele. And it's worked over onto the stick of Onstock. As he tips it out, this one will not go for icing. As it's sent right back to good. A legal line change for Shreveport with 3:10 remaining in the first period. Marshall tries to get it behind to Kelly. Settled down now by Koklichev as he plays it across to the far side corner. Waiting with it now is Gockler. Gockler brings it back to the slot and sent along the right wing to Mack, who tried to feed it over to Sedlicek. Back over to the near side where it bounced too much for Koklichev. The big body, 6'4", 215-pound Proctor taken out from his own net. As Kelly and a Mudbug player were at the top of his crease. Play was behind Proctor, and luckily he's okay. As he gets back between the pipes with 2:35 left to go here in the first. As it looks like referee J.R. Strager will take both. As he takes Jake Mack and Wojciechowski to the penalty box. Four-on-four hockey for 2 minutes with 2:35 left to go here in period number one. While there will be another season of Odessa Jackalopes hockey, they're unsure of what their schedule will look like, as that won't come for another few months during the off-season. Roughing on Wojciechowski, goaltender interference on Jake Mack, who had a goal in yesterday's game. A power play one, as it's brought out of the zone by Howler. As Hoyer was tangled up with Sedlicek from that face-off dot. Nothing comes of it. Played right past the stick of Simpson. Gato gets to it first, near side. Now to Howler. Again, 4-on-4 hockey. Played back to the blue line for Simpson. He fires one. Caroms to the far side. After it is Heidi. Heidi heavily hit below the goal line from Dane Hoyer, who now goes after Burke Simpson on the far side. Hoyer back. He sends it. As now the Jacks with puck possession from their own zone. As Kuwit sends it right to the tape of the captain. A lot of speed along the left wing. Devorny launches it across. Having trouble tracking it is J.R. Purdy. 1:40 remains here in the first. 4-on-4 hockey for 60 seconds. And a scoreless game for the final home game for the Jacks this season. Heidi pins it up against that far side corner, eludes two Jackalopes, then will bring it out of his own zone and send it rink wide near side to Howler. As he's at the end of his shift, as is Sedlicek, and they're actually offside. Sedlicek back to the bench he goes, as Kuwit brings it out through center. Kuwit goes coast to coast with it. Protects the puck, one hand on the stick, and shovels it back up to the blue line, unable to settle it down as Boak as he has to retreat to his own zone. Boak being pressured from behind. 18 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey, 50 seconds left here in the first. Brimmer sends it off to the near side corner as it's possessed by Koklichev. Koklichev fires one wide, Brimmer in after it, still off to the right-hand side of Proctor. Kuwit trying to work and hits off the outside of the net. Back up top, they send it. And Wojciechowski right out of the box and applying pressure already. As him and Mack meet on that far side in open ice, both standing tall. Kelly tries to get around one and he had a man off in that right circle. That would have been Mansfield. And he got it to him, could not. As there's just 15 seconds left to go here in this opening period. Back here with puck possession. He twists and turns with it from his own zone. Back here, far side. Long stretch pass to Desmond Johnson, one of the newly acquired Jackalopes players. We'll send it along the yellow trim below the goal line, and that will do it for period number 1. Shots finished 8-6 in favor of the Jackalopes in a scoreless hockey game here from the Ector County Coliseum. Fans have their carrots at the ready. Hopefully we can see some reach ice level in period number 2. Now, the last time Odessa won the true final game, I kind of was studying this stat a little bit earlier and wanted to properly phrase it correctly. So the last time the Jacks ended a season with a home game win was May 6, 2020. But if you recall, that 1920 season was also the COVID year, and that wasn't a true final home game. So dating back to their last true home game to end the regular season for them was actually against the Shreveport Mudbugs team back on April 7th, 2018, so almost 4 years ago to the date. And they won that game by a score of 5-2. Right now we sit scoreless after 20 minutes of play here from the Jack Shack. 4th place Shreveport, 5th place Odessa. Jacks have to win to keep their playoff hopes alive for another weekend. Again, this is game number 56 for them, and they're still in it, albeit very small percentile, in order to reach the playoffs for the first time since 2017-18. But again, for a team that has had some unfortunate previous seasons, of course finishing towards the bottom, for them to have brand new coaching staff and a large portion of brand new faces donning the Jackalopes jersey, home or away, or even specialty, as you see some rocking those around the Jack Shack here this evening. It has been quite a turnaround season for them. A lot of records have been set and still more to come over the next few games. Players hitting some milestone marks as well, like Charlie Bankier here tonight in game number 100, just like Dane Hoyard, all in a Jackalopes jersey. As Frank DeVorny also had his 100th game of the season not too long ago, but he also came from a different team. And we had Mike Manzo hit 100 as well. And J.R. Perny is also very close. This is game number 96 for the Strongsville, Ohio native. He's got to play the remaining 4 to hit 100. He would hit it on game number 60 of the regular season if he's able to do that. Well, I'm going to step aside, get ready for period number 2 here from the Ector County Coliseum. Odessa 0, Shreveport 0 through 20 minutes of play.
Here we go! And they're off. I'm pretty sure that's out of bounds. But it's the mini one. Oh, he shot it. It was blocked. Let's see who's going to make the first goal. It's a little bit of chaos, but they're having fun, am I right? Oh, just missed. They're trying hard. When they're not on the ground, they are shooting their shot. Jack's fans, make some noise! Somebody's gonna make a goal. I think it's coming. Shoots! He scores! Jack's fans, be sure to get your bidder number for our post-game jersey auction. We'll be auctioning off our white home uniforms at the conclusion of tonight's game. Oh, what a shot! We have 2 more minutes. So close. And there was another goal. And he shoots, he scores! One minute remaining. 1 minute remaining. Jack's fans, get loud! What a block! He sacrificed his body on that one. You got 40 seconds left, guys. He's coming in hot. Oh, just missed. They're coming down to the final seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's the game, folks. I want to give a big round of applause for all of our mini bites. Great job, guys. Great job. And thank you to the parents coming out tonight and helping Jack fans, we will remind everybody to get your bidder number as we will have our post-game skate. We will have our post-game jersey auction. Our jersey auction will be for the white home jerseys the Jackalopes are wearing tonight. You can get your picture taken with your favorite Jackalope and get an autograph at
Welcome back into the broadcast, everybody listening on Hockey TV as well as the audio-only feed over on the Odessa Jackalopes YouTube channel as we get ready for period number 2 here from the Ector County Coliseum, the final home game of the regular season for the Jacks. There is a potential, a very small one, for them to have another home game here. It will take a large miracle, of course. They have to win tonight, and not only that, but also win their final four games, which will be against Amarillo and then New Mexico, who's already locked their playoff spot for the first time in their franchise's history. But Shreveport would have to lose 3 of their final 4 games, and their final 4 games are played against the bottom 2 teams in the South Division, Corpus Christi and the El Paso Rhinos, who were recently on a 20-game losing streak, had snapped it not too long ago, but split a weekend series with Corpus Christi on a Thursday-Friday evening matchup. So it will obviously take a lot of luck and, of course, a miracle to happen, but for this team to go to games number 57 and 58 with a playoff potential still looming around them is something remarkable to kind of look back on how this season really started for them. A dominating 2021. They were in a playoff spot from October all the way to March. Not many teams can say that. It was that 6-game losing streak that really did do it in for them if they are unable to make a playoff berth. With 2 of those 6 losses coming at the hands of this Shreveport team back at the start of March. That 4 points that Shreveport gained certainly could have swung into the Jacks' favor, and this weekend series would be a lot different. How that happened as Hoyards bumped off the play as he was trying to go forward, looking for an interference call. Doesn't get one about 20 seconds into this second period. Scoreless affair here from the Ector County Coliseum. It's kicked off the bench boards all the way to the far side. Now snapped near side and played out by Shreveport. Kuwait could not get away with it as Brimmer's in after it. Getting to it first, however, will be Frank Devorny as he wheels around from near to far. Sends it diagonally forward to Pernian. He will flip it forward and hopes to get it to Manzo. However, it's possessed now by Carter Green. Quickly touched forward and onto the stick of Sedlicek. Sedlicek from the right-hand side to the left circle, and offside is called from linesman Tyler Willie. So a neutral zone draw right in front of Shreveport's bench, far side circle. Jacks going left to right from your vantage point here for this period number 2. Mudbugs going right to left. Shreveport wins it, send it near side to Green. He was past the red line. He fired it deep as it flattened out. It's now spinning on its edge. And sent forward by Gawkler. However, Sedlicek once again offside. And that should be an intentional touch. And it is, so it will be brought to the dot closest to Shreveport zone on the near side as Hopkins waits for both teams to set up. 18:53 left to go in the second period. Very low shooting first period. 8-6 is how we finish things out. After 20 minutes to play. Yesterday's first period ended 12-12 in shots. However, Mudbugs were averaging 1 goal every 3 shots. Almost cleanly picked off by Kusler. He had trouble handling it at the blue line. And it's launched deep by Odessa. Banked off the near side boards and played out by the Mudbugs as racing after it is Boak. Boak gets it near side. Hit by Logan first now. Dropped back into that far side circle. Still players trying to find the loose puck. Eventually it ends up on a Shreveport stick, played off the end boards. Back over to the near side circle. Sent to the blue line. They fire one, punched aside by Proctor. A big hit thrown from Charlie Bankier as slowly making his way back to the bench was number 12, Hayden Nickel. Mudbugs bring it out near side. They are onside this time as they send it deep for Jacob Onstock. 17:45 left to go here in this second period. Only one shot so far in this middle frame, and that was off the stick of a Mudbug player. As Hughes is back after it near side. He's fighting alongside Jake Mack. Or actually, Drake Morse, I should say, number 28. They fire one. Saved by Proctor, and the rebound covered up in the left glove. As some extracurricular will ensue after that, as there may have been a late jab at the Dallas, Texas native. $17:23 left to go. Scoreless hockey game here from the Jack Shack. Shots are even, 8 apiece. When tied after the first, the Jacks are 7-9-0-1 this season. Shreveport is 12-6. After the Jacks win it, Devorney sends it forward to Duclair. As he tried to get it over to the stick of Kelly, it was picked off by Shreveport. Played over to the far side. Brimmer sends it down low. One to the stick now of Connor Gano. Simpson, far side, over to Gano. Now he twirls it deep and hopes to get it to Simpson. Brimmer after it, below the goal line, to the right circle. Good poke check from Marshall, and it's slapped out by Duclair. Now Kelly trying to win the footwork. Spoback comes out to play it, and they blow it dead anyway. A miss whistle there from the officiating group, but they will grant the Jacks an offensive zone draw, knowing that it was their fault. Again, a lot of Jacks hands up in the air on that one. Would have been icing potentially had Boback not came out and play it, but he did regardless, negating the icing. Again, that was accidentally ruled. So an offensive zone draw for Odessa. Marshall to take it. Duclair fires one. He scores! Blackjack for Duclair! Goal number 21 for the RIT commit. Roofs it. Carrots on the ice. Just 3:14 into this second period. 1-0 Odessa. Lots of Carrots on the ice. One of the largest attended games here this evening that the Jacks have seen all season long. Again, we hope more maybe new hockey fans taking in their first game, not maybe from a Jackalopes perspective, but just maybe a hockey game in general. Hopefully this brings them back out next season for the 26th consecutive year of hockey in West Texas, here out in the Permian Basin. What a rookie season with his mom in attendance. He nets goal number 21. Now what a shot. That goal may never happen if the play doesn't get blown dead due to the accidental icing that was called. They give the Jacks that offensive zone draw. Boom, right after it, Duclair from that near side circle. Maybe just off to the left-hand side of Boback. Gets a kneeling loft shot. And almost pops Boback's bottle with 16:46 left to go in the second period. And will go down as the first shot for the Jacks this period. So back to center ice they bring it. 1-0 Odessa leads, thanks to the leading scorer with his 21st goal, Christopher Duclair, as they send it over to the 100 games played Charlie Bankier. Bankier tried to feed it down low. Manzo unable to get the Hoyer. Open ice on the far side for Boak. One hand sends it over to Hoyer. Kept alive by Bankier. He fires one, angled aside by Boback. Manzo possibly trying to find Purdy in between the circles. Picked off by Shreveport as they rush the other way with it. Koklichev. Koklichev tries to send it to the slot. No one was home in a red jersey as the Mudbugs are in their 20th anniversary. Back over to Pernian as that one's sticked aside by Boback. He lost an edge in the process. No call on the play as it's still deep in enemy territory. Nickel gives it right back, and almost with it was Manzo as that one was through the blue paint and back to the near side. 15:35 left to go here in a 1-0 Odessa lead. Going up against the defending champions. Tallene fires one, rebounds loose. It's kicked over to the near side. Right below the right circle, however, played out by John Howler. And icing is called against the Mudbugs with 15:15 left to go here in the second period. Well, last Saturday, the Jacks were shut out for the first time this season at the hands of New Mexico by a score of 2-0. They were the final team to have been shut out in the South Division, so they went 53 games, the second longest in franchise history, only behind the 15-16 season where they went 60 straight games, played the entire season with netting at least one goal. He's trying to pick the pocket of the opposition. On that far side was Mansfield, and pitchforking it the other way is Ryan Kusler, the only offensive assistant captain, as all the other letters belong to defensemen, two of which will age out, that one of them being the captain. Kusler fires one from a long way away, and that one's caught promptly by Boback in the left glove with 14:43 remaining here in period number 2. Offensive zone draw for Odessa. Far side circle to the blocker side of Boback. He's in the top 5 in wins. He got his 26th yesterday with a 4-1 victory over the Jacks. Hewitt flutters it high and deep into Shreveport zone as it's whipped off the end boards behind Boback. It's off the skate of Hughes momentarily, recollected by Davis Gockler. Played the green, and it will trickle back out to the neutral zone as Hewitt works the edge work. Pass the red line, snaps it deep. Boback comes out the plant, settled behind his cage, and eventually jarred to that far side corner and played out on stunt. Sent hard to the ice by a hit from Emerson Good. Yates along the near side wall. Yates has Hughes in front of him, no passing lane. Hewitt fires one. Stick tying into the safety netting from Boback with another halt to play. So after 2 early shots from Shreveport here this period, they've been silent since. And now it's been 3 straight shots from the Jacks. 1 have registered. It was their first of this period. They lead 1-0. Marshall back up. On that near side, they win it. Back here, across he sends it to the left skate of Johnson. That one's broken up by Simpson. And having to retreat in his own zone is Charlie Bankier. Off the stick of Kelly, so icing is waved off. He was at the red line. Marshall applying some forecheck. Kelly now in pursuit. Marshall with maybe some real estate along the near side. Dishes it back up top to Bankier, who tightrope walks the blue line. He'll send it from high to low and hopes to get it to Kelly. He's angled off and sent hard into the boards. And a penalty is upcoming against Shreveport. Interference on the Mudbugs with 13:22 remaining here in the second period of a 1-0 Odessa lead. Third power play opportunity for the Jacks. They're 0 for 2 so far. Now it's the 28th game in which the Jacks have now scored the first goal. They are 19-8 when doing so. Power play is out there for Odessa. Off to the near side circle. 5 skaters in white, 4 in red. Shreveport wins it. They fire it ferociously off the windshield and out from zone to zone. 13-15 left to go here in the second period. Final home game for Odessa, final road trip for Shreveport as Duclair tries to dance in. He breaks it up over to Purdy, far side. Now they look to work within, and it's a turnover to the stick of Lucas Sedlicek. They stay onside. They fire one wide and to the left of Proctor. Played right to the glove of Devorny, who will patiently wait in his own zone. He'll feed it to the Canton, New York native, Nate Boat. Boat trying to play it back to the hash marks, and that one was intercepted and dumped out by Trenton Hindy. As changes are coming on the fly for the Mudbugs here on the penalty kill with only 65 seconds left on this Jersey Mike man advantage for Odessa. As they're sending on some new skaters as well in the forms of Ryan Kusler and Ryan Mansfield. Dropped back to Kusler from Wojciechowski. Odessa enters successfully. They'll play it around to the far side. And back up top to Kusler, now left point. Picked up in that far side circle by Begier. Begier held up against the boards. It does not catch the safety netting over to the near side and launched all the way out by Davis Gockler. Over 8 minutes gone here in the second period. And under 30 seconds left, a power play opportunity for the Jacks. They're 0 for 2 so far. Mansfield for a dump and chase himself. He's in after it. So is Kusler. That gets past Begier behind him. And Wojciechowski, unfortunately, not there in time as it's sent deep. Now, in single seconds, a power play time for Odessa. Stick tapping is Proctor as his team brings it out behind him. Tallene settling it down. Drifts it over to the far side. Hughes sidesteps away from a hit. As the game goes back to 5-on-5 hockey. Mitchell sends it deep. He was at the end of his shift. That one bounces right back to Proctor as he's standing tall. Infield fly rule for the Dallas, Texas native as he gets a stoppage of play with 11:03 left to go here in period number 2. Offensive zone draw for Shreveport, near side circle to the blocker side of Proctor. One on back by the Jacks. Johnson weaves behind his netminder. He'll bring it along the far side and is hit from Burke Simpson hard into the bench boards. Mudbugs have it. Brimmer enters. Good angle from Tallene, keeping that lengthy stick of his in frame. It now is played over on that near side corner. Eventually worked to a jackalope stick. Pernian is able to muscle it out of the zone. Sending it across is Logan Aru. Tipped off the stick of Gano. As changes are coming on the fly now for Shreveport. Possessed down low by Odessa. Far side Manzo throws it off the bench boards. Right back over to Proctor. That one bounced awkwardly over to the near side after he caught a little piece of it. Steele back to the defense. Long stretch pass forward, they send it, and sending it deep now is Onstad. Johnson held up against the boards. Tallene trying to throw his body weight around. Johnson comes away with it. Pirouettes away from danger. As pressuring him was Jake Morse. Off. Actually, Kelly did not get a piece of that, so icing is called against Odessa. Thought he might have got his blade on it. Linesmen say otherwise. 9:46 left to go here in the second period. And if you count that little pop-up that Proctor caught, and awkwardly carried back to him in his crease, that would be the 9th Shreveport shot, but they are still held at 8 here on our video board. Been a lot of sticks in the way. That one will register from a blast from Green at the top of the left point. And that one goes up and out of play into the stands. So another offensive zone draw. Actually, they'll put it at the neutral zone, Don, as it was at the top of the right point.
Big shout out to the Frisco Breeze Hockey Club.
And we will head to immediate timeout.
Welcome to the Jack.
1-0. Odessa leads here from the Ector County Coliseum. The final regular season home game for the Jacks and the final road game for the Shreveport Mudbugs. They've won 2 of the last 3 Robertson Cup championships. They're looking to make it their 3rd Robbie Cup in franchise history. A win here tonight will give them a playoff berth and end playoff hopes for the Jacks. What needs to happen if Odessa wins here tonight? They'll have to win out in Amarillo, who are behind them in the standings, only by 4 points. Again, they're playing Lone Star this weekend, who Lone Star could potentially go into next weekend against New Mexico, almost guaranteeing themselves the top spot in the South Division. New Mexico had it ever since December, lost it last weekend when they lost 7-5 to the Jacks in game number 1. But Shreveport would have to lose at least 3 of their final 4 games. They play Corpus Christi next week, and then finish things off with the El Paso Rhinos, who are in their inaugural season. But all 4 of those final games will be on home ice for them. Played up but not out, eventually worked out by the Jacks. Marshall fires it back towards Boback. And it's softly played off that half wall on the far side. Sent D to D near side now to Cohen. He has to wait for his team to tag back up. They are offside as Kelly and Marshall get back to the blue line. And they actually head right to the bench. Send on new legs in white jerseys. Devorny chops it back out. And now an odd man rush for Odessa if they can hurry. Too far ahead from Mansfield as that one was broken up defensively by Davis Gockler. And good backpedaling by Mansfield as he was able to negate a shot from that far side from Jake Mack with 8:35 left to go here in this second period. Again, very low shooting. A lot of deflections and bodies in the way of some frozen rubber here this evening. As Odessa sits at 11 shots, Shreveport sits at 9. Off to the near side, it's played now for Trenton Heide. Brimmer gets around one. Brimmer shoots, saved by Proctor. The rebound glances up and behind his net. Back down low, the Brimmer, he sends it. Now off to the near side. Up top, the Heide, he fires one. Rebound's still loose. Played to the near side circle. Heide with it. Proctor back up. Off to the near side, he'll bring it back to the crease and get a whistle. And maybe has some words for the referee as to why he didn't get a whistle a few seconds ago, thinking he might have covered it and that it was knocked out of his glove, or maybe where he had it possessed in the blue paint. 7:58 left to go here in the second period. Nonetheless, the Biscuit does not find the basket. It is a 1-0 Jackalopes lead. Shots are even 11 apiece. This is the same lineup top to bottom for the Mudbugs. Offense, defense, as well as net minding. As they are maybe trying to get that chemistry flowing for a potential long stretch over the next few weeks if they do clinch a playoff spot. Again, if they sweep Corpus next week, it's over for the Jacks, regardless if they win here tonight and even if they beat Amarillo. And win here tonight will end the season series in the Jacks' favor, 5-3. Back here from the right circle, tries to go far side. Getting a piece of it was Boback. Boak unable to keep it alive for Odessa. He does break it up at the far side red line. And Good enters. Without his stick is Gato. And good deke move by Good. He'll get it deep. One Mudbug player playing without his stick as it's off by the Jacks blue line. Back the other way. It's cleared out by Shreveport. Quickly touched back. Odessa is offside. Gato going to the bench to send on a new pair of legs. Snap near side to Simpson. 7:10 left to go here in this second period. Send over to the near side for Yates. Yates along that right wing wall. Second longest point streak in Jackalopes history. He had that back in 2021 at 12 games played. One of the longest across the NAHL so far this season. Played across, Manzo drapes it on back to the logo. Tallene waiting patiently. And he fired it right to Steele's stick. Steele walks in, fires one in and out of the chest of Proctor, and he gets a rebound save and another one in the splits. A triple threat goalie between the pipes, making 3 consecutive saves on the Mudbugs to keep it a 1-0 Odessa lead with 6:38 left to go here in period number 2. Referee's talking with Proctor in his net, and they had dropped the puck, so they're now going to go on the far side. Proctor is ready, as is the referee. As we get ready for a Shreveport offensive zone draw, Duclair to take it for Odessa. He has the only goal so far of this game. Sent to the corner and almost back to the slot, as they almost got it to Miller from Logan first and now. Cleared out, Jacks tag back up. They're onside as applying forecheck now as Chris Duclair. However, it's playing opposite of him to the far side. He'll get it near side. Turnover from Shreveport. Duclair shovels it deep. Gunnar Moore, the extra forward for Shreveport. It's eventually played up and out to Nicholas Miller, who gets to the near side circle. Miller, it's denied after a poke check from Proctor. No call on the play as he goes awkward into the boards. And Hayden Nickel and Duclair were going after one another as well. Both head to their respective benches. 5:40 left to go here in this second period. Mudbugs wanted a call on that Proctor potential trip. And nothing was raised from referee J.R. Strager. That loose stick still off to the right-hand side of Proctor as he whips it around the glass to the near side. Coming away with it, and good poke check from Kiewit to the far side. He sends it, denying Lucas Sedlicek between the circles. Sedlicek on top of the puck as they blow the play dead with 5:13 left to go here in the second period. Jacks fighting for their playoff lives here at the Ector County Coliseum. Final home game for them. Quite possibly the largest attendance this season. We had the Mites on ice during the first period intermission. And we also have the Greenwood High School band off to our right-hand side. Below some CHL banners that hang in the rafters. Kiewit passes it across to DeVorney. Off to the near side for Yates. Offside are the Jacks. They got tangled up with Hopkins, the linesman on that near side. Shreveport collects it, plays it to Simpson. He's got Gato to his left, and his pass is intercepted by Good as he rattles the glass behind Proctor. Gockler fires one, blocked out of midair by Good. Great hand-eye from him. We've seen some fancy highlight plays from him. Yates lost sight of it and intercepted by the Jacks as Kiewit twists one off the boards, back up top, hits the referee. Now that one's tipped past the red line from Good as he applies pressure on Gockler. Now over to Simpson. Almost intercepted that time by Hughes. Johnson back in his own zone to retrieve it. Him and Brimmer tangled up. Brimmer never gets a hold of the puck as now it's on the stick of DeVorney, who fires it off the boards. Or at least it initially thought it did. Intercepted by Steele and played back out. He's at the top of the crease and scores. Garrett Steele ties the game at 1 apiece with 4:09 left to go here in this second period. Sent deep by Shreveport. Proctor back over to Johnson. Sent forward to Manzo. Across now to Hoyer. Hoyer tries to get around one. Tries to drive it back out into the slot. Broken up by John Haller. As Manzo went awkward into the boards. He's okay. He remains on the ice. Doesn't go to the goal line, so icing was waved off Boak. And a man draped all over his back. Johnson wins a hard-fought battle from his own zone. And Hoyer has to shovel it deep as his team was offside with 3:30 left to go here in the second period. Boback, or my apologies, Proctor. With some help, they get it out to the neutral zone. Right in front of the Jacks bench. It's eventually played deep into the Shreveport zone. As now the Mudbugs bring it out in front of their netminder. Ramped off the stick of Nickel, who had 85 feet the other way for a line change. Momentum was in favor of the Jacks not too long ago, but trying to settle it down are the Mudbugs after that tying goal from Garrett Steele, who has a birthday coming up on, or recently had a birthday on March 7th. And trying to dive at it is Kusler. However, offside is Shreveport. As it looked like Jake Mack wanted to let one rip onto Proctor.
Happy birthday. Going out to Seth Hansford. Happy birthday, buddy.
Sent around to the near side half wall. Begier after it. Sent deep by Moore. Chasing it now is Wojciechowski from the far side. Mansfield plays it up but not out. Rifle deep by Shreveport. Played below the left circle. Now inside of it. After it is Shreveport. Now over to the side for Koklichek. Now for Mack. On looking at Sedlicek. Mack back to the top of the left circle. And tripping will be called as there's a trip on Odessa. Sedlicek went down right in front of Alex Proctor with 2 minutes exactly left to go here in period number 2. Guilty party, John Wojciechowski.
Odessa Jackalopes penalty number 6, John Wojciechowski, 2 minutes for tripping.
Steered aside by Proctor from his own crease. Sent forward to Manzo. On the penalty kill, Jacks have 10 shorthanded goals this season. Manzo tried to hit the brakes, worked all the way back up top, and Devorney smartly drapes it all back to Connor Kewitt. Sends it cross ice to Duclair. Now plays it over. With it is Brimmer. His team is offside. They tag back up and he'll bring it back out to center ice. Sent to the red line and a big hit thrown from Duclair. You won't see that too often from number 26. And once again, that time it's on the Burke Simpson. It's a delayed penalty against Duclair. And now Boback back to the bench. And now the Jacks touch things up for a 5-on-3 power play. Brimmer and Bankier jawing at one another on the near side. Again, the Jacks, a lot to play for still. Linesmen separating number 21 in red and number 24 in white. 100th game for Charlie Bankier in the NAHL. 108 remains on the penalty kill of the 5-on-4. Duclair, however, with that big hit on the far side, will have to go sit. And Schrager, not wanting to hear anything from the RIT commit, throws him right into the penalty box. Wait for the official call here from the referee. But the 5-on-3 could have happened sooner if Shreveport would have just given it to Odessa. However, they tried to carry it up a little bit more. They were working practically a 6-on-4, with Bobek eventually reaching his bench. That's a 2-minute minor on Duclair. 1:07 left to go in the period. 1:08 on Wojciechowski's minor. Roughing on Duclair. But a 5-on-3 power play for the defending champs, for a win away, especially against Odessa, from reaching the playoffs. From the right circle, near side, they had 2 power play goals yesterday. They fire one, and handcuffed on the shot was Simpson. They send it back up top to him from the point. Now near side to Gockler. Back over to Simpson. And poke check to the wall by Devorny. Turns and fires one all the way out. Great work by the captain. Again, further are the Jacks from their bench from their own zone, with 35 seconds left to go here in this period. I thought the clock was at 2 minutes when Wojciechowski took that penalty, and I thought it would have expired, but there will be 1 second for him to sit at period number 3. 20 seconds left to go here in the second period. Brimmer fires one. Left kick saved by Bankier. Good block shot. Back to Brimmer. Out into the slot. And they send it high and over the net of Proctor. And up and into the safety netting with 9 seconds flat remaining in period number 2. This is quite the hockey game here from the Jack Shack. Action on both ends of the ice and intensity, of course, from both teams. Hits being finished on both sides. However, a 5-on-3 power play favoring the visiting team, looking to even the season series in the final game. These teams will see one another this regular season. As the referee heads off to the off-ice officials area, they might be looking to adjust the clock. And I think that's what head coach Scott Dorr was asking about, why, if they took the penalty at 2 minutes, why it shows 10 seconds left on Wojciechowski's minor and 9 seconds left in the period, as it should be an even 9-9, as Wojciechowski should be available to start period number 3. That could be the correction they're trying to fix now. However, Duclair's still in the box for 62 seconds, so that will certainly carry over into the final period of regulation. In a 1-1 hockey game here from the Ector County Coliseum. Sent back up top. Gockler to the far side. Only 7 seconds left. Over to Gockler. He fires one. Block shot from back here and knifed over to the corner. 1 second left, and that will do it as it's pinned from back here, as he gets hit up high in the face by Gockler. Brimmer off to his right-hand side. Bankier down, covering his face with his left glove. As I'm not sure if it was Brimmer or Gockler exactly who got him after the play, but Bankier still holding his face. Brimmer staring at him as he went back. Bankier never looked back, immediately raced off. I hope Bankier can come back for this final period. And we'll see if anything comes against Shreveport to start period number 3 in just a little bit, as teams head to the locker room. Tied once again. This time the score is 1-1. Goal scored by Chris Duclair and Garrett Steele back in that second period. As now Odessa heads to their best scoring period of the season, plus 15. They did not score yesterday. Mudbugs, their worst scoring period, -6 for them. They did not score yesterday either. I will say, though, one remarkable thing that Scott Dewar was talking to me with after the game yesterday was the fact that they pulled Proctor with about 5 minutes left in that third period to try to mount the comeback. They were trailing 4-1 at the time, and Shreveport never scored a goal. I mean, that is certainly even something that I was kind of talking about a little bit in that game yesterday at the tail end, that you don't see it too often where it goes on for multiple minutes at a time without the opposition team scoring an empty net goal. But the Jacks 6-on-5 there as they were trying to really cycle the puck with Proctor away from his duties for the majority of the last 5 minutes. Again, a great job for them, and that's something that coaches really do like to see. They want to be able to test their team and see how they can handle facing a deficit, and if they can really kind of move the puck around with that extra player out there. It can be very congested in the attacking zone, and we did see a few pucks, of course, reach a body in front of the opposition, not being Bobak, but either defense or offense, or a few blocked shots from Shreveport coming yesterday. The Jacks also had a lot of scoring opportunities as well yesterday. Put up 34 shots, outshot Shreveport 34-31, but they had a few glance off some posts, and as well as Bobak making some remarkable saves on some breakaway opportunities against Odessa. So the score itself, while it might have been 4-1, that first period you take it out, I mean, the Jacks, again, had a lot of opportunities, a lot of scoring chances throughout the final 40 minutes of play and almost were able to come back in it. I think the score itself did not speak volumes for how that game was handled. Of course, some goals that Proctor didn't even quite have the chance on, or could have even predicted where the puck was going to go, given the few redirect goals that Shreveport had and the 2 power play goals as well when they set up some cross-crease 2-on-1s. Well, I'm going to step aside here for the second period intermission. It will start with Wojciechowski in the box for 1 second. Chris Duclair still has 54 seconds on his minor, 2 minutes for roughing. And Shreveport at 12 shots, Odessa at 11. Through 40 minutes of play, that might certainly have to be adjusted a little bit. I do know the Mudbugs put up a few in rapid succession on Alex Proctor. They're in the late stages of period number 2. But the score remains tied after another period of playing. Again, 1-1 is the score here from the Jack Shack for Odessa's final home game of the regular season. Stay tuned on Hockey TV. Well, the fans welcoming the Jacks back to the ice here for period number 3. As it will be going right to left from your vantage point. Shreveport going left to right here for this final period of regulation. Current score, 1-1. Odessa in a must-win scenario here tonight in order to keep their playoff hopes alive. Again, while if it doesn't favor them, if the outcome doesn't favor them, the season will not be over until April 16th when they end things at the Outpost Ice Arenas, home of the New Mexico Ice Wolves. They will still have 4 games left that they will play on the road. Next weekend in Amarillo, and then again in New Mexico for the final 2 games of the season.
All right, fans, we're moments away from the start of the third period. Let's cheer on.
There's only one available spot left to be clinched in the South Division. Shreveport currently holds that final spot. Above them, Wichita Falls, New Mexico, and Lone Star. Shreveport will finish their final 4 games on home ice. This is their final road game of the season. However, if they clinch playoffs, they will be on the road a little bit longer. They will face Corpus Christi, 7th place in the South Division, and then last place El Paso. Even if the Jacks win this game, they need Corpus to sweep next weekend or split, and then they would need El Paso to sweep. So 1 second left of 5-on-3 hockey, then it will go to 5-on-4 hockey for 53 seconds. As Wojciechowski waiting to pounce out of the penalty box. Duclair still standing for 54 seconds. Puck is dropped at center ice, won back by Odessa, and out of the box quickly is Wojciechowski. Talley, far side from his own zone, launches it all the way deep to Devin Boback. 40 seconds now left of 5-on-4 power play opportunity for the defending champions. As Brimmer gets around Bezier, sends it to the far side half wall. And golf swinging at that one was Tallene. It eventually skips out from a clearing attempt from Ryan Kusler as they get new legs on the ice in white jerseys as well as some in red. As it's sent to the far side. Turning the other way within is Heidi. Now just 10 seconds left of Kendra printing penalty kill time for the Jacks. As Hallard has to set up behind his netminder Devin Boback, who's looking for win number 27 of the season. As that one bounces right back out in front of Duclair as he was exiting the box and ramps high. Out off of Proctor and missed the safety netting as it settled down by the Jacks. Played forward. Pirouetting with it is Perdian as he launches one from below the right point and into the left glove of Devin Boback for a halt to play with 18:48 left to go here in the third period. Shreveport 0 for 3 on the power play. Odessa 0 for 3 on the power play. Shots tied 12 apiece. Scores tied 1-1. Odessa wins it back. Emerson Good far side. Onto the stick of Hughes, back to Good. Again, Emerson Good had the only goal for the Jacks yesterday, a 4-1 loss. That one goes end over end above the head of Hughes, kept alive by Shreveport. However, they thought they were offside. Willie on the near side ruled it good. They went back to tag up regardless as Odessa brings it out of their own zone. Bankier, Good from getting hit at the end of the second period. Nothing came of it from Shreveport's end, but Bankier out there watching things from center ice. As Good had that one deflect. Boak keeps it alive. Ruled legal by the linesman on the far side in front of Shreveport's bench. However, that one will exit the Mudbugs zone back out to the neutral zone. As Good as from the red line. We'll get some air underneath of that one. Send it deep. He heads right to the bench for a line change. And a lot of speed for the puck on that far side as it went all the way around the horseshoe, and a big hit thrown from Tallene, and a late hand was raised by the referee as he took down Jacob Onstadt right in front of the Jackalopes bench. They're going to say a high stick is called. 17:40 left to go in the third, and I'm not sure if Stryker saw it clearly because it was a hit nonetheless. Could have called it maybe anything else but a high stick. It would have made the sense there. Not sure if he, out of the peripheral vision of his eye, if he maybe saw him go down. Strager went over to Onstadt to see maybe if there was blood drawn. Onstadt was slow to get back to the bench, but it is just a 2-minute minor for Trevor Tallene. And it happened on that far side, right in front of Odessa's bench. Twisted up and eventually played out by Frank DeVorney, as now the Mudbugs are on their 4th power play of this evening. To the far side, they play it to Simpson. Will rattle it deep. Corrals it on the far side, pressured by Marshall. Marshall after it, far side, and he'll jab it out of the zone as he takes a hard hit from number 2 in red, John Hallard. Marshall a little stung, hopping over the bench. Brimmer brings it. Sends it on back to his own zone. As he sends it right up for Davis Gockler. Gockler tried the fine center check deep. That one's sent up, but caught at the blue line by Gockler, as he'll launch it deep. Sent behind the net of Proctor. Sent from low to high. Now over to Gockler. He's got Koklichev near side. Koklichev back over to Gockler. Gockler from the Bud Light logo. Koklichev near side, and his blast goes well wide and kicks all the way back out to the neutral zone as changes are coming on the fly for the Jacks. On the penalty kill for the next 45 seconds with Tallene in the box. Wojciechowski far side. He shovels it forward, but not out. Kept alive by Koklichev. The AIC commit sends it near side to Jake Mack, and he couldn't get his twig on it as it's played out. Mansfield racing after it. He tries to leap around Gockler. However, it's sent back to the near side boards and then played around to the far side. Shreveport sends it below the goal line as they look to set up a breakout with only 15 seconds of power play time remaining on their 4th man advantage. They're 0 for 3 so far. Went 2 for 4 yesterday. Brimmer sends it across to Simpson. On the offense now is Trent Heide. Jacks come away with it. Tallene's out of the box. As we go back to 5-on-5 hockey. And now an on-man rush for Odessa. Sent to the near side for Tallene. Tallene leaves it for Manzo. Mansfield. Manzo fires one. Saved by Boback. And a few pushing and shoving afterwards as well. And all seems to be separated there by the linesman with 15:22 left to go here in the third. It will be an offensive zone draw for Odessa. They've killed off 4 Shreveport power plays. Puck will be dropped on that far side circle to the glove side of Boback. Broken up in the dot. Sent back to Cohen. He fires one. Caught in the left glove by Boback with a little bit of a screen in front of his crease. 15:15 left to go here in the third. Again, very low shooting. Shots read 14-12 in favor of your Jacks. Far side circle. Waiting for it to be dropped from the linesman as Mike Manzo for the Jacks. Opposite of him is Onstadt. Odessa wins it. Sent back to the hash marks. However, eventually picked up by Shreveport, and out the other way they send it. Off the half boards on the far side from Drake Morse. Bodies come together below the goal line, retrieved by J.R. Perdian. He's one of only 2 vets to be in the top 10 in points for the Jacks. The other one, Dane Hoyer, banked off the outside of the netting as Hoyer tries to set up for Pernian. Brushes it back up top now to the captain. He lets one fly, and that one ramps up and out of play into the stands with 14:45 remaining here in regulation. Claire with point number 39 in his rookie season, in the top 20 of points for a rookie across the NAHL. He's got 21 goals, leads the team in that category. J.R. Pernian behind him with 35 points, 17 goals, 18 assists. Sent back to the blue line. Worked deep by Bankier. And that one actually glances off the right glove of Bankier and into the Mudbugs bench. So we have a whistle. And they will drop it at the far side neutral zone dot with 14:36 remaining here in the third. Coming away with it was Jake Mack. Quickly onto the stick of Lucas Sedlicek. As he's hit hard on that far side by Bankier where the play is just moments ago. Mack wants to send it to Sedlicek. No passing lane for him. Back to the blue line and he sends it. Gonkler fires one, and it reaches Twine. Gonkler from the Bud Light logo gives Shreveport their first lead of the game, 2-1. Mudbugs here with 14:15 left to go in regulation. Odessa wins it. Wojciechowski across for Tallene. Played to the corner from Boback. Now Mudbugs have the lead in the final period. Marshall fires one. In and out of the body of Boback. Wojciechowski trying to step up on the play. Marshall backhands one deep. All the way down it will go for an icing against Shreveport. It was a shot from Gonkler just below the blue line. And if it wasn't tipped, it will go to him. There were a few bodies in front of Proctor. They give it to Lucas Sedlicek, assisted from Davis Gonkler. So second goal of the weekend for the Staten Island, New York native. And the one to give the Mudbugs a go-ahead goal right now, with 13:44 left to go in regulation. Jack send it to the blue line. Trying to turn one out in front. Another block shot from Shreveport. Been seeing a lot of that this weekend from the defending champs. Wojciechowski will leave it for Tallene. We'll push it to the far side and then throws Hayden Nickel down. Onto the stick of the Mudbugs. As first and now in Mansfield Clyde along the near side. Pushed forward this time by Tallene. That one sent high, caught out of midair by Proctor for a whistle. And an upcoming offensive zone draw for Shreveport with 13:09 left to go here in the third. So it was slightly tipped from what they were saying. And maybe that is why it reached the back of the net past Proctor. Hoyer plays it off the boards, trying to get it back to himself. Will settle that one down and throw it right to his tape. It's knifed away from Manzo. Perdine has to hold up at the line. Hoyer enters. Gets around one. After it below the goal line. DeVorney pinches up, sends it. They tip it! Oh my goodness, I can't believe that one stayed out. Hoyer with a redirect that somehow caught the post but didn't catch under the bar and ricocheted to the far side. 12:35 left to go. That shot played right back. The puck is loose to the left side, shoveled behind Bobeck. The Mudbugs tried to play it back to their netminder. He was unaware and almost gave the Jacks a goal. Across they play it to Manzo. Manzo protecting the puck as his team's making changes behind him. Good, sends it across, right side. They play it out in front. That one kicks high and off to the near side. Once again missing the back of Bobeck's net. Lots of confidence and momentum for players in white jerseys over the course of the last minute or so. Hughes finds it from the logo. Sets up Yates, far side. 11:45 to play here in the third. Jacks trailing for the first time this evening, 2-1. Hughes dishes it back up top, near side the Boak now. He finds Hughes. Hughes gets around one. Hughes backhands one out in front between the skates. And played out by Shreveport. I'd have to look closer at that Hoyer to redirect if that one went underneath. I don't think it did based on where it landed after it hit iron. And that one's pitchfork deep by Emerson Good, who will hop right to the bench to send on a new attacker. Picked up by Simpson. Played forward to Connor Gano for a dump and chase. He lobs it behind Tallene. Jacks playoff hopes on the line here for the next 11 minutes of the third period. Tallene sends it forward to Claire, wanted it. Too far ahead for him, and icing is called against the RIT commit. Thought he touched it. And officials say otherwise. .10:55 remains here in the third. 16-13 are the shots in favor of Odessa. Mudbugs with a 2-1 lead. Head coach Scott Duclair of the Odessa Jackalopes talking things over with referee J.R. Strager. Wanting maybe a reasoning why that one was ruled icing. Duclair also had some words afterwards. Felt like he had tipped it past the red line. Simpson with it. Simpson fires one. Caught by Proctor at the top of the crease. And he gets the rebound to boot. The Shreveport team can be very dangerous, as they had put up 4 back in period number 1 yesterday. They have 2 different players over 40 points, Austin Brimmer and Connor Gano. Those 2 are out there right now. Gato for the draw. Wins it against Kusler. And a shot hit a leg pad in front. Brimmer trying to play it deep. Batted out of midair by Begier as he applies a forecheck on Gockler. Sent right back to Brimmer. Sent off the bench boards and hope to get it to Gato, but icing will be called this time against Shreveport. With 10:32 left to go here in the third. Offensive zone draw for the Jacks, far side circle. After the drop, it was tangled up between a few players and sticks. Sent near side to DeVorney. He fires one, punch to the wall by Boback. Duclair sends it around to the far side. Marshall sends it deep, below the goal line. It's held up against the end boards. Dug out by Odessa. Marshall far side with it. Back to the blue line, he sends it. Sent into a body. That one did catch the safety netting over on that far side corner. Many players lost sight of it. Play was blown dead. We are about halfway into this final period here on the final home game for the Jacks. Trying to reach the playoffs for the first time since 2017-2018, and one of their best seasons in the last few years as well. They are currently in 5th place. A Shreveport win will knock the Jacks out of playoff contention and will give Shreveport an X next to their name and send them on to the 2022 Robertson Cup playoffs to potentially face the Lone Star Brahmas, as that one's tipped just off to the near side of Bobac's cage from Dane Hoyer. Shreveport clears their zone onto the stick of Jacob Onstock. Proctor comes out aggressively to play that one. They were able to get that pass across now near side to Dane Hoyer. He's got options over to his far side. Hoyer gets it around one, shovels one towards Boback, and that one's caught on the near side post, but not past the goal line. Saved by Boback with 9:34 left to go here in the third. Media timeout now, as the Jacks lead in shots 18-14, but trail 2-1 here in game number 56 for both teams. Actually, on the score sheet, they have updated 2 more shots for the Jacks, so 20-14 is what it reads on the league site. 4 shots in period number 1 for Shreveport, 7 shots for them in period number 2, and they've only had 3 so far in this final period.
Thank you very much for all you do.
Again, the Jacks got the first goal of the game back in period number 2 thanks to Christopher Duclair. As he scored 3 minutes and 14 seconds in to that second period. Later, though, with less than 5 minutes remaining, it was Garrett Steele tying the game. And so far, it has been Lucas Sedlacek for his second of the weekend. As they grab it from the Zamboni door. Fire it off the glass all the way down. Won't have enough steam to go for icing as Bankier weaves his way around, and he picks up a lot of speed from his own end. Goes coast to coast with it. Fires one right into the chest. Oh, Boback from the lower right circle. And no rebound to come from the Northwood, Ohio native. 9:14 left to go here in the third.
Happy birthday, Matthew Peterson. Happy birthday, buddy.
Odessa with some new legs on the ice here. This offensive zone drop. Shreveport flips it back over into the near side, and it's brought out now by Logan Firstenau. Sent deep to get it to Nicholas Miller, and a big collision below the goal line. Wojciechowski shoved from behind, right in front of the benches. Play continues on deep into Shreveport zone. As Kusler is battling Davis Gockler along that far side corner. Sent right to Miller between the hash marks. This time they do clear their zone, and that one deflects high and into the stands. And a lucky souvenir for a little kid. With 8:41 left to go here in the third. Mudbugs 2 for 14. Jacks 1 for 19 on the video board. However, on the league site it says 1 for 22. Both teams scoreless on the man advantage. Shreveport 0 for 4, Odessa 0 for 3. Sent back to Gockler, far side, he sends it to Carter Green. Will fire it off the boards, and that one actually deflects off the body of Simpson, who sends it over to Gato near side. Gato backhands one around to open ice, picked up by Connor Kuitt. Sauces it forward off the leg of Duclair. Onside are the Jacks as they fight for it below the goal line. And out it escapes back to the neutral zone. Devorny with it. Devorny has Marshall watching his defensive position at the top of the left point. They send it to the far side, or Kiewit sends it deep. Now to Duclair. Kelly wanted it, doesn't get it. Duclair turns, fires one towards the net. Caught by Boback low at ice level with 7:53 left to go here in period number 3. Again, don't forget about the post-game jersey auction. If you are listening and you're around the Odessa area or Midland area, you still have enough time to get out here. 7:53 left to go here in the third. Or if you are listening and you are a family member or a parent of one of the players, as a pass deflects over to the near side boards off the stick of Charlie Bankier, you can bid over the phone if you have the billets bid for you. Now these jerseys will not be taken home by the winning bidder or autographed, as the Jacks might need them for their final 4 games depending on what the home team wants to wear, as Bankier fires one right into the left glove of Boback. He quickly plays it to keep the clock ticking here with 7:24 left to go here in period number 3, as that one sails up and over the half wall on the near side for a halt to play. Offensive zone draw for the Jacks, near side circle. They win it. They send it up top to Wojciechowski. He plays it below the goal line. Yates after it, far side. It comes loose for Shreveport. Howard fires it off the near side wall and then out back into Odessa's territory. Cross ice into no man's land as it's retrieved by Yates and cleared. Shreveport will drop it on back to Evan Mitchell. Across, he played it to Moore. Missing it was a Mudbug player. However, they still rule it no icing. He threw his head up, knowing that he missed the puck. And that one's batted out of midair, but it remains in Odessa's zone, as Hughes was going after it with Jake Mack on the far side. Play continues on as Wojciechowski plays it forward. And that one catches the safety netting. Looks like Hughes and Mack exchanging a few words as Mack makes his way over his own bench. 6:27 of the Odessa Jackalopes regular season. A loss here ends their playoff hopes. They will still have 4 games remaining for the regular season, all on the road. We would love to see the fan support as a traveling team. A shot, big split save by Boback, denying Begier at the top of the crease. And a heavy hit thrown on the far side from Kiewit. A legal one, though, as he's trying to kick it away. Sent back up top. They fire one. Rebounds loose. Punched away by Boback and picked up from the slot. They fire another one. This time it'll hang on to the frozen rubber and get a whistle from the referee with 6:01 left to go here in the third. That Kusler and Begier Mansfield line has been so dangerous for quite some time. As they head off to now send on the line of Kelly, Marshall, and Duclair. Offensive zone draw for Odessa. Far side circle. Our right, Boback's left. His glove hand side. And it has been a dogfight here this evening. Everybody is finishing their checks as Marshall goes and lays one on Trenton Heide. Whipped around to the near side. Dvorny tries to step up on the play. Dvorny trying to get it around from Steele. Trickles back up to the blue line. Kept in by Kiewit as he sails one below the goal line. Over to the far side, it's playing up and unfortunately out, but Kiewit launches it right back in. 5:35 left to go. Steele from the red line deflects it as Boak trying to get it. Duclair intercepts. Duclair winds, fires one, and it's tipped up and into the safety netting off a block shot from Trenton Heide. Having his stick in the way of a shooting lane from Chris Duclair as he wanted number 2 on the night. 5:22 remains here in the third. Near side face-off in the Mudbug zone. Blocker side of Devin Boback. Man zone to take it for the Jacks. Gato wins it. It's launched to the far side by Carter Green. And the puck is played near side, but worked out by Shreveport. Across they play it to Brimmer. Simpson gets it and he fires one. And off the mask of Proctor. Talk about good vision from the Dallas, Texas native. As he headed that one away. Keeping it a 2-1 Mudbug lead. Simpson enters near side. Not too many shots in this third period for the defending champs. They have Onstad out in front, broken up by the paddle of Proctor as well as the stick of Wojciechowski. Perdian lost a handle on that one as the Mudbugs flip it out into their own bench with 4:37 left to go here in the third period. 24 shots for Odessa, 15 on the board for Shreveport. However, the Mudbugs lead 2-1. Draw over to the far side. Odessa wins it. Good, could not get it across. As it's sent to the near side and then played deep by Steele. Penalty was upcoming. And the guilty party tripping Emerson Good against the Jacks with 4:29 left to go here in the final period. And Shreveport to the fifth man advantage this evening. They're 0 for 4. The Greenwood Band trying to energize not just the fans here, but as well as their Odessa Jackalopes. Gato to take it. He loses it to Duclair. Simpson in after it. Checked hard by Tallene as he rattles the glass and plays it back out to center ice. Plays to the tape of Howard. Sends it across. 10 short-handed goals this season for Odessa. They desperately need one now as they trail 2-1. A minute 40 left on the Kenner Printing penalty kill. 2-minute minor. Tripping call against Emerson Good. As firing it deep was Wojciechowski. Shreveport looking for a playoff berth with a win here this evening, as well as splitting the season series with the Jacks 4-4. Brimmer tries to get around Devorny, takes a stick out of his hand, no call, back up top to Haller. Across he sends it. Flubbing on the shooting opportunity was Koklichev, broken up by the Jacks and flipped off the windshield deep by Connor Kuhn. 3:30 remains here in regulation and only 60 seconds left on the Mudbugs man advantage. As they race with it along the left wing, they enter far side. Pivoting with it is Tim Koklichev and intercepting it are the Jacks. Bezier with it against Gockler. Bezier fires one, shrugged away from Boback and retrieved by Koklichev. Gockler waiting behind Boback. Pressured behind from Mansfield. Trying to pick his pocket. Sent near side to Gato. They say onside. As Gockler trying to maybe play that offensive defenseman role. But it's dumped deep by the Jacks. 20 seconds left on the power play for Shreveport. As they dangerously once again play that back out in front of their netminder. Mansfield almost able to strip the opposition of the puck. And it will glide back out to center ice. Johnson hit hard by Simpson. Gato off the skate of Simpson. Back over to Johnson. Near side, Johnson feeds good right out of the box. 2:20 left to go here in the final home game. Simpson dancing with it. Deep in the Jack zone. There were two Jackalopes on him. It's broken up from the slot. And it's eventually played out as good. Tries to send it off to the far side. Picked up by Shreveport. Just 120 seconds left here in regulation. and potentially in the Jackalopes playoff hopes as it's sauced across to the near side. Waiting for Alex Proctor. It went almost 5 minutes fully without him in the net yesterday as they trailed 4-1. Shreveport never scored an empty net goal. Tallene brings it out from his own zone. Proctor follows the team up. Near side now with it is Manzo. He lobs it deep. Jacks enter the attacking zone. Far side. Sees it on the line. They keep it in. They fire one, just one. And a Shreveport player collides with Boback. Play continues on. Manzo with it on his stick. The senior. He fires one, and that one off the stick of Coakley Chavin into the safety netting for a halt to play with 1:19 left to go in the third. What a final game for the Jacks here at home.
Also have Brandon Oldham. Happy birthday, Brandon Oldham. Jacks fans, get loud!
Timeout called by head coach Scott Dewar. 6 players in white jerseys, 5 in red. Head coach Jason Soupy Campbell drawing things up for the visiting Shreveport Mudbugs, trying to go to the playoffs once again and look for their 3rd Robertson Cup championship in franchise history. They've won 2 of the last 3 Robbie Cups and are the defending champions. If they win this game, the playoffs are set for the South Division. The seeding is not, however. Lone Star at the top right now currently. Below them, New Mexico and Wichita Falls. Those 3 have already clinched. Only 1 spot available. And the 2 teams right now on the ice are fighting for that last spot. Points favor the visiting team, not just on the scoreboard, but also in the standings. 67 points for Shreveport, 59 this season for Odessa. In a season that has seen tremendous ups and very little downs, a lot of split weekend series in this new calendar year, with a returning roster of nearly 20 players. Shreveport wins it, bounces off to the near side netting, and hugged by Boback with 1:15 left to go in regulation. Post-game jersey auction after this game. Jags would love to, of course, go into that with a split weekend series and a win here this evening. It will be for the white jerseys. Hoyer sets it up to Hughes. Hughes passes over to DeVorney. Hoyer back up top to Hughes. They have to watch that blue line. Down below the goal line they send it. Manzo having trouble pinning it up against the near side corners. Trenton Heide trying to kill the clock. 55 seconds left to go here in the game. It's ricocheted off the boards and out. Bad pedaling with it is Connor Kuhn, realizing the time is favoring Shreveport. Passes it near side to DeVorney. He gets it deep. Jacks applying pressure with 40 seconds left to go here in the third. Shreveport with it. Send it up but not out. Kuhn fires one, almost tipped into the back of the net by Manzo. These are some of the players you want out there for the Jacks. Under 30 seconds left to go. They fire one from a sharp angle. Rebounds loose. It's still there to the near side. And the Jacks don't get a shot off. Manzo gets taken out below the goal line. No call. Kuwait fires one down to the corner. Just 10 seconds left to play. Played out in front to the right circle. They fire one. Rebounds loose. Wraparound opportunity. Still just 2 seconds left. It's played out. Now that, wait, with 0.8 seconds left, and now the horn sounds in Shreveport. Will reach the Robertson Cup playoffs and end the playoff hopes for the Odessa Jackalopes. There was a stoppage at 0.8 seconds. Maybe the off-ice official thought play was blown dead. But carrots are being thrown on the ice in a celebratory fashion of, again, going 56 games in playoff contention, the Final Four. They still want to, of course, end the season on a good note. And 69 points for the Shreveport Mudbugs, currently in 4th place in the South Division. The South Division is set Proctor played a tremendous game, had 2 go past him on 15 shots. I still think that's a little bit fewer than anticipated, and they're actually going to do one last lap here at the Ector County Coliseum. It might not have went in their favor this weekend as they fall 2-1 tonight and 4-1 yesterday. But this team has fought so hard for 56 games. They've scored in 55 of 56. They still have 4 games left to go next weekend in Amarillo. And then we'll finish things off in Albuquerque, New Mexico to go up against a playoff-seeded New Mexico Ice Wolves. That could determine whether or not they might come in first and win the South Division. That's currently held by the Lone Star Brahmas. A final lap for many seniors and maybe even some others that could go on to the D1 level as they exit stage left. Season series is now split 4-4. And the Jacks put up nearly 30 shots, almost doubling the Shreveport Mudbugs here this evening. However, they fall 2-1 on the score sheet. And I'm sure an emotional night for many of those seniors not wanting to exit. Proctor last off, knowing what was at stake. Manzo and DeVorney in front of him. And that will do it here for the home games at the Ector County Coliseum for the 2021-22 season. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll be back next week in Amarillo on Hockey TV as well as the audio-only feed over on the Jacks YouTube channel. I will be with the team for the final 4 games. And hopefully the Jacks are able to get that confidence and go out on a strong note. However, the playoff hopes are officially denied in part to a 2-1 victory here for the Shreveport Mudbugs, which clinches them a playoff berth and seals the 4 for the South Division. Other divisions still looking to even get their first team to clinch. And some have 1 or 2 already. It was a very tight battle throughout this game. However, the Jacks unable to walk away here with 2 points. But if they are able to win the final 4 games, that would put them at 31 wins. And again, that would be second most in franchise history. Regardless of them not reaching the postseason, it has been a tremendous season for this team. I know that doesn't go the way that they anticipated, but only 4 teams can make it out of 8, and they were with it almost till the very end in playoff contention. Shreveport wins game number 56 of their regular season by a score of 2-1. And the Jacks lose their final home game of the season here against the Shreveport Mudbugs, the defending champs, looking to defend it in the 2022 Robertson Cup playoffs, trying to win their 3rd Robbie Cup in franchise history. Again, there will be a 26th year of Jackalopes hockey here at the Ector County Coliseum, and the Jacks could possibly be one of the deepest and most experienced teams to hit the South Division next year. Of course, though, we'll bring on some tenders and some new players throughout the main camps, throughout the offseason, and possibly even in some trades early on. But the returning group of nearly over 90% of them are eligible to return, which of course is tremendous as the chemistry has kind of been building all throughout this regular season and even late into these final 10 games. I'm going to sign off one final time. Shreveport wins 2-1 on the Jackalopes' final home game of the regular season. We'll see you next week in Amarillo as the Jacks face 6th place Wranglers. Have a great night, everybody, and thanks for tuning in on Hockey TV.